Oh, well, what I need is the thing.
Tape. This tape?
Yes.
Stick it in. Stick it in. Okay. Press down.
Hey, go! Stop! Mike!
Why's one going?
Oh, no! Hey, you! Woo!
Oh, because we're a mixer.
McManus was her name.
Okay.
Snap, 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 snap.
Snap! Let's go! Now! Go! Ha! Whoa!
What? 1, 2. Hey, check, 1, check. She makes me a jump. She makes me a snap.
La, snap, jump, 1, 2. She makes me snap.
Little bit says a blah. She was looking so Francois. Got drunk in a French cafe. Mixed champagne with gin latte. She makes me snap.
She makes me.
She makes me snap.
She makes me snap. She makes me snap. All right, let's go right now.
Are you getting real? Oh, I think you're going psh.
No.
She makes me.
I'm going to be coming in all day. Good. Good.
At
That
least
means you got to worry
until-
about them getting sucked around that corner there.
Good thing there's no people here. For us. Got a nice beach rake. It's pretty.
Beach is nice and
We got
big.
it made. We got a radio to call the boats. If they want to call us for help, they can call us. We can notify the medics. We can notify everybody, the sheriffs, Florida Marine Patrol, CETO. CETO rules around here. All the boats that break down, they make a ton of money. They help us a bunch, too. This one goes directly to the fire department. We can go right to the dispatcher, and they can send us right to the responding units. So if situations change, we can say, you know, the blood pressure went down, unresponsive, things like that.
Whoa! Whoa!
Where Jumper's got to sit.
You're such a silly. You're a ninny.
Goofy doofy. You go outside. Outside. Good girl. Go. Over there.
Gotta sit there.
Sit. Sit down, buddy. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
We had one rescue where we were sitting here, John and I, and it was a real rough day, and we had big surf, so we had a nice large crowd. The boat came out the inlet, and a wave hit it, and the guy driving was knocked to the back of the boat. One guy was thrown out of the boat, and the boat turned and came directly into the beach and beached itself. John and I had to run back, get in the boat, come around. We went out, we grabbed the guy and pulled the one guy in. And right when we finally got back here, just when everything was calmed down, you know, all these people are hanging out, wondering what the boat's doing on the beach. Another boat goes out to the outside, is trying to go over these huge waves, and instead of pointing his bow into the boat, he turns it, and the wave just flips the boat upside down, and there's like, how many people were in there? Three. And the waves were so big, and there were so many people in the boat with the weight that John had to jump out and retrieve the girl who was being sucked way down with the current. John was probably, a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile out there in this brown outgoing tide. It was disgusting. And I ran down the beach, ran out, and I was running out to get John. John was pulling this girl in, and I look at John, and John's got just blood coming down his face. John had hit his head earlier when he pulled one of the guys in the boat. And it was just a little teeny cut, but with the blood and the water, it was real cool looking. And I'm swimming out, and John's just talking with a big old smile on his face, and the girl's acting like nothing's happening, right?
Calmed her down.
She's just
perfectly.
hanging out. John pulls her all the way. I got like a little bit, and I barely helped him, but he pretty much got everybody in. And since it was such a good rescue, we got a thing called Hero Day, where you get a day off paid for making a great rescue. We were the first ones.
That's
It was
right.
pretty cool. In front of all these people, too. It was great.
1, 2, 3, go!
This is just her job, you know, keeps me in drug money and guitar strings and stuff like that.
How did you learn to play guitar?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. It's just,
When did you start?
well, about 18 or 19, we used to have this mandolin around my house, and my dad had it tuned basically not right, but tuned to basic, like, to the bottom strings of the guitar. It was like playing 4 strings guitar without the 2 bass strings, and in the mandolin, he had both of them tuned. Each set of strings was tuned the exact same, so it really, you know, it was just sort of weird sounding. But I was about 18, I started playing that, and then I was 19, I got, in fact, my girlfriend, Kathy, got a acoustic guitar, and I just, from then on, for maybe 10, 15 years, I just dabbled, basically. You know, there'd be times I'd put the guitar down and I'd play it for 6, 9 months. And then I'd play it for a while, and it wasn't until later on, until I was in my mid-30s, met Brian, that we decided to just start a band. I could play a little bit. He bought a set of cheap drums. We just started playing songs together. I couldn't even play bar chords back then, and it just went from there. You know, we got Eddie. We got Eddie to play bass, who had never played anything in his life. We had to, you know, figure out ourselves even how to play the bass to tell Eddie how to play it.
Take one. Eddy Foley interview. Okay, Eddie, what is this called? This thing that you made.
Junk from the beach.
Take 2. Mark it. All right, Eddie. What's the creation that you're responsible for making?
It's just old sea junk, driftwood and old shells I found walking along the beach.
Right.
Me and my daughter.
Yeah, can you introduce your daughter to us?
This is Cynthia,
Cynthia?
6 years old. She just turned 6. Say hi.
Kneel down one time, Eddie, so you can be closer. Now,
She's
Cynthia,
learning how to play piano too.
right. Cynthia, what do you call that?
Sea art.
Sea art? And how long did it take to make, Eddie?
Oh, after drilling the holes and everything, about an hour. They each take about an hour.
And then how do you drill the holes? How long does that take?
10 or 15 minutes. I just gather a whole bunch of wood and shells and just spend a couple hours drilling holes.
Right.
Then the next day I just string them all together, put the fish on there, and
How
give them
many-
out to my friends.
How many have you made?
About 50.
50? And do you try to sell them?
Not yet. Everybody tells me I should, but I just give them away. I got them for free. Why charge?
Now, tell us about your time in the band, the Hip Pups.
Well, they needed a bass player, and I went out and bought one. Didn't know anything. John taught me a few notes here and there, and I don't know.
That's that?
And that's that.
Okay, let's continue with the history of...
The band. Okay, we dumped, not we, I said we dumped. The other guitar player quit, went on to bigger and better things because, like I say, it was just Eddie, Brian, and I. We were more content to just bash around doing what we did.
Where were you playing then? Where were you practicing?
We were practicing in my living room. And I guess, no, we'd already started practicing at Applause Studios, just a warehouse, a studio with a stage and a set-up PA. Cost us like 20 bucks maybe even every night. We'd all have to chip in. I guess it was 15, because we wouldn't have paid that much money a night. Like I say, we even did a few shows back then. That's when we were, who were we? Were we the Pockets then? I heard we stopped being the Pockets.
You're in Hip Pups.
Hip Pups. We were the Hip Pups. You're right. That's what it was. Eddie and John and Brian began. The Pockets became the Hip Pups.
All right, so after after the hip Pups broke up, then it was just you and Brian.
Then, well, we even hardly didn't do anything for a while. Then Brian and I got the itch again, and then we got Al to join the band. Al played bass. Al bought a bass and joined the band. And then we became various names. Of course, my favorite name was Lame Little Pussy.
Okay, let's go, Lame Little Pussy.
And we played out under Lame Little Pussy, then the Hairbrains.
With Al?
Yeah.
Did Al ever play?
Yeah, I'll play that. That band played out for a while.
And Marcus. Okay,
Yes,
action.
I'm here to introduce you to the Life Insurance Company of Georgia, and today I wanted to find out how Brett was doing with his coverage. Have you put any plans together, Brett, in the past year? Have you had your coverage reviewed?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, this is the type of coverage that will, I'm working with life plans, health plans, and long-term retirement. I also have some accidental disability, and we'll go into that, and I'll explain it to you detail by detail, and we'll go over it very thoroughly so you understand it every bit. If you have any questions along the way, please don't stop me until I'm finished, okay?
Oh, Al McQueen. Holy moly. Al was our guitar player first. Al was a roadie with Tammy Wynette when he was at the farm, which is that hippie thing that went on in the 60s. They had their own commune. I don't know if you ever heard of it. But they got the farm to be the roadies, and Al learned how to play guitar, and he was our guitar player first, and then quit, and then came back as our bass player, and then quit.
Yeah, there was like a real kind of a weird thing between
Yeah, he
him
fought
and,
with John
him and
Silvernail, and they were
Yeah.
both, they would argue with each other, turn down, you turn down, I'm better than you, no.
Yeah.
So that was good. Al's still our friend, though, because he's just Al. John always just dominated him. It was good. He deserved it.
Lame Little Pussy. It was called the Lame Little Pussies, and we played at the Foundation, and we had a great time. I was, at the time, I was in college going through respiratory care school, so my time was very limited. We didn't get to practice enough, but I had a great time. We had a lot of fun. I would, we had maybe 24 songs, and it came out well. The songs, I would write some of the songs, and I played bass guitar.
That bass rig that John Stewart used, John bought for Al, and then Al ended up keeping it and selling it back to John. That's Al.
That's Al, for
Classic
sure.
Al McQueen.
Yes, for sure.
I also wrote a song, I Almost Dropped Acid, and it was kind of a thrashy song, so it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop acid. So it was kind of thrashy, and it was pretty fun. It was a fun song. So
Al's been around forever, off and on. He played guitar with us when we were Woo Doggy, and, Al played bass for a while. He got okay at it. But, again, Al's not one to want to rock for a long time. He didn't want to put anything into it.
we kind of clashed a lot, John and I, because we had, our thoughts were, I think he felt a little threatened, because he thought that I was curving the direction of the band a little too much for his taste.
Right.
So, and I didn't think I was. I just had a few songs, and all he had to say was no. But John is real verbal. He's more internally introverted. There you go. He's a little introverted. So, But, you know, it was all in good fun, according to me.
And where is he now? What does he do?
Al is selling insurance. I mean, I still see Al. He's a funny guy.
Is he good at selling insurance?
I bet.
Basically, I really enjoy this. It's I have a great affinity for it. And when they did my profile as how I would fit into the insurance business, it came up as, oh, my phone's ringing. You know, this is the type of thing that happens all the time.
John, you seem like you have a lot of karma. What is karma?
I don't know. I thought karma was basically, that's fate, right? You know, it's like something happens, you do something at one lifetime, and it comes back in that lifetime or the next one. So I don't know if everyone has karma, whether it's good or bad. You got to work your way to the top, right? That's how it works, to the Godhead.
And where do you get karma from?
Well,
What does it arrive
Oh, I don't know. I'm not expert on
on Europe,
English, on Eastern mysticism. It's something. Well, basically, it's what the Christians would refer to as original sin, almost. You know, you've got a debt to pay your whole life by hopefully leading a good life and helping others out. And you know, like each deed you do something good, you get some good karma. You know, it's sort of like that. You know, I really don't know what I'm talking about here. It's like a spiritual checks and balances. I don't know.
What's that, T-Lop Sank Rama, that guy?
No, it's like that, though. But
Is
yes,
it?
yes.
I never read that one. I read the other one. I believe in that. That sounds cool. I like that. I'd like to think that stuff's true. With the abominable snowman and...
Okay, people that can go places, just leave their body and travel, astral traveling. Yeah, I believe the mind or the spirit can... Yeah, it's just an untapped source that takes a lot of work to get to that point.
Yeah, remember you telling me you thought that there were guys that are so high-powered that they're the ones that make the world spin?
Well, telling you, a bunch of guys sitting in caves
up in the
Tibet and
hills
stuff that just make the world work.
just by sitting there and hanging out. I don't know about that.
What is it that you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying that you never know what kind of a day a person's having, so if you treat them nice, you can always make their day a whole lot better.
Very good.
And what do you do? Up with the boom a tiny bit.
I'm a flight attendant.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm meeting people. Yeah, I meet people every day, and I never know what kind of a day they're having.
Is it a hard job being?
No, I love it. It's easy. If you treat people nice, they end up treating you just as nice back. I've never had anyone treat me rudely if I've been nice to them.
You haven't?
Never.
That's
Never.
interesting, because I just met a flight attendant, a retired flight attendant, that got in a fight with the guy that beat him up. He bit her, and they had a huge fight, and he got arrested after it. She retired.
I believe in Big Surf. There's a phenomenon for you. We haven't had any. We've been having this crummy little wave. It hasn't rained. Everything's on fire down here. Isn't Martin County on fire now, too?
Something, I don't know.
Everglades are on fire. We have sea lice. The world is going... Those guys aren't doing their job in Tibet, I guess. Everything's getting all fucked
That
up.
might be part of the job.
They're getting old, and they need new ones.
No, it's part of the job.
Is it? Keep firemen
Yin and yang
going.
and everything else.
Okay, John, do you remember where you were?
Yeah, we're talking about band. So eventually Al split. He quit the band, and right away Stewart came on board, and that became the first real band we had. Real serious band that played out a couple of times. The Royal Nubians, and we made that halfway decent tape down there in Fort Lauderdale. And then that's about it. Then John, you probably covered this somewhere else. John got sick.
Right.
God bless his soul. And that band went kaput.
Mark it. John, you used to be in the band. What was the name of the band?
Royal Nubians.
The Royal Nubians. And,
Right.
and tell me a little bit about the Royal Nubians and how long you played with them.
Well, I'd been playing in a band, and we broke up, and I just remembered that Brian and John played music, And so I don't know, I talked to somebody, and I think I talked to Chris Buchanan, and he said, yeah, I'll hook you up. So he hooked me up, and I went over and practiced one day, and we hit it off right away, and, you know, we played for a while, you know. We did a little recording down at the Art Institute in Fort Lauderdale, and we played a bunch of live shows, and, you know, I developed schizophrenia, and that's right when it started to, you know, come on for me. And so that's basically what happened as far as the band breaking up. I developed schizophrenia, and I had to, you know, spend some time in therapy and stuff like that.
And after that, Brian and I just still stayed together. No matter what, we had no plans whatsoever on getting the bass player to play out or do anything else.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Guy named Kyle would come. He probably played with us maybe 15 times. In fact, we made a nice little 4-track. Kyle produced himself. He's a real good guy with the dials, especially for a 4-track. But there was never any intention on anybody's part to ever be in a real band again.
Where are you going? Okay, you know my hair appointment's tomorrow, so you gotta go tomorrow. Okay. I love you too. Bye. I was with Julie, my wife, pregnant wife, getting ready to turn 30 in 3 days. She's 6 months pregnant with little Raleigh or little Rowan. We don't know if it's a boy or girl.
Oh, you want the full-on belly shot?
Yeah. Beefcake.
Beefcake belly shot. Okay, that's enough.
Brian, what do you think?
Little baby? Yeah. Cool. Roadie. Roadie, I need someone to help carry the equipment, right?
And of course, the last couple of years, it was strictly Brian and I, and sometimes Eddie, when Brian moved and we got the garage to play in. Then we know Brian saw John on the street one night. John cleaned himself up. He'd gotten better. And he asked if he could come over and jam. And it was Come Home, Brother. And that's what happened. Now we got the band. About a month later, we were taking ourselves real seriously, and we've been Stinkin ever since then, and now maybe something's shaking.
Let's go!
Yeah, this is a great story. I was downtown on Clematis, and I was there, and I'd been going down there a bit. You know, I'd started back down there. I'd been going down there about a month. I go down to Respectable Street and dance down there, and you know, I go down there and hang out and drink coffee or whatever, you know. And I was just sitting on the sidewalk one night, sitting on the wall, and Brian and Julie and Gordon and Jennifer walked by, and
He was smoking a cigarette.
He was smoking a cigarette, and all of a sudden I turned and looked, and I almost didn't recognize him because he had the beard, and he's got the hat and the shades going. And we kind of looked, and it was, hey, what's going on? And then it was just so weird because John and I were starting to play again in the garage.
I was looking rough because I was just really coming out of my real delusional state, you know. And I talked to Brian, you know, and I just, you know, how you doing? Just small talk. And I said, are you guys still jamming? He said, yeah. And I said, well, are you jamming with anybody? And he said, no, you know, just John and I. And I said, well, can I sit in with you guys? And practice was the next day. I went the next day. It was rough the first couple of weeks, you know, because my motor skills were still, you know, I hadn't done anything like that.
We had heard that he'd, you know, been living on the streets and that he had been actually living downtown on like one of the rooftops but prior to that, he'd been living in New York City and was homeless. And wasn't he was in Gainesville for a while, and then he was in California, I think, for a while.
Or something.
Yeah, and just really kind of a strange situation. And I guess his dad kind of intervened and convinced him to come home. And then they finally got him on medication and to treat the schizophrenia. And we really think it was like kind of a good thing, because we both knew John when we were younger, and he was like the stud, you know. He was blonde, real good-looking guy, but he wasn't a real nice guy, and he'd be the first to tell you that. And neither of us really even liked him very much. And then as time kind of progressed, it's like this whole kind of switch around happened, and we you know, he's turned out to be a really good guy, and we just worry about him, and because sometimes he goes back to having those off days where he's not feeling well, and goes back into kind of slumps, and then gets his medication adjusted, and
bombs.
And then he's fine.
That's right, we still gotta do Lame Little Pussy, huh? We're still gonna do that. Philo's great.
No groovy, right?
Look at John, look at Mr. Clean over there.
No groovy, right?
No groovy, no.
Mr. Clean. What is friendship? Define it. Define it for us.
Define friendship?
Yeah, the qualities of friendship.
It's, I don't know, friendship is, well, in my life, friendship is definitely having the room to make mistakes, you know? Having the slack, knowing somebody well enough, and caring about them enough that either side can make, you know, mistakes and not be punished for them, you know? I mean, you know, if you say, you know, say we're best friends and you expect that relationship never to be painful, then it's not, I don't think it's a true relationship, you know? Because pain is part of humanity, you know? I mean, everybody, you know, if you don't experience pain, then you're wasting your time here, you know? Because it's all around you. If all you experience is good, then, you know, how are you helping, you know? And friendship is the ability to understand that and to, and, you know, acceptance of mistake, you know, okay, you made a mistake, you know, you hurt me, but I forgive you, you know, how can I help, you know?
Right.
And that's what John and Brian have done for me, more than anybody, you know? They didn't hesitate in taking me back, you know? And I really asked them, I've been lonely for a while, you know? I asked them out of need for myself, you know what I mean? You know, I just wanted to be attached to something at that time.
Now he rocks.
Yeah.
Now we rock.
He is
He's
excellent.
real good.
So calm and smooth.
Yeah. It's the best bass player they've had. By
Twice.
far. Yeah.
He's the best player before, now he's the best player again.
Yeah.
She wants you to come over and kiss a pretty face. They go hang around and drink another taste of the beer, 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 beer. Older, but wiser, and I don't care. Get really back, who's my head? Let's sacrament all crazy. And when I die, I'll be the preacher saying, beer, beer.
Excuse me?
Did you think about what the song
Oh yeah, I remember exactly when this song was written. We were at John's house, and he was inebriated. He was just blind beyond belief, and he was just going, I gotta go over to Jan's, but I think I'll just hang around and drink another case of beer. And I'm going, man, she's gonna kick your ass. He said, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm flat on my back. And he didn't care. He wasn't going over there, so that's when he wrote the song. I kind of wrote it down and laughed later on and stuff like this. He hardly remembers he was so
How do you think that in the punk rock genre, Stinkin fits in?
because we're not following mainstream, and the songs kind of say it. Songs are about beer and just having fun and no responsibilities, and and up with anarchy and down with people. It's all tongue-in-cheek, but that's what it's all about, too. It's just do whatever you want. Nobody tells you what to do. You do whatever you want, and you just laugh in their faces. If they don't like it, tough. Right? Tough. Too bad, so sad. No?
I experience what my psychologist calls ego states, you know, just like multiple personality disorder. The difference between multiple personality disorder, as he explained it to me, is you experience different personalities and you're unaware of your other personalities when you are locked in one. And ego states is more like role playing. You know, you play different roles with different people. You assume different positions. You assume different almost personalities, but you're aware that you're switching back and forth. So I do that. You know, that's part of my illness. So I ask who I am every day. And a lot of who you are and who you want to be is, I don't want to say projection, but it's bounce back from the people you associate with, the people you admire, the people you respect, the people you want to emulate, you know?
Tell me how what's the first song you ever wrote?
Oh, geez. I probably wrote a stupid little songs on piano when I was 13 or 14.
Do you remember any?
Yeah, I do. I can tell you exactly how it goes. How's this? Okay. Kiss me when I want to, want you. Kiss me when I say, kiss me when I need you. I'll always feel this way. Oh, my love for you is blind. Let your lips kiss me. A girl like you is hard to find. Oh, baby, yeah, kiss me.
And you...
I wrote that. I remember that exactly. Ding, 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 ding.
And how did you write it? Why did you write it?
I have no idea.
people talk about John, about what you would like to cut John open, pull him open inside and see what's going on inside there. There's probably like a big wheel, the big old hamster just
Watch parts.
Just going. Just going. I don't know how he does it. I think he's where he's staying. He wants to stay young and he wants to look skinny. And, what's it called? Obsessive compulsive?
Really?
I guess that's what you'd call it or something like that. It's good because if he doesn't work out, then he's a nervous wreck. He's just got so much built-up energy. He's not even himself. He can barely stand still. Every song's just 100 miles an hour. And no breaks in between. Go! When you keep going, go, go for an hour and a half.
And the kids keep smoking pot. They got their brains tied in a knot. 'Cause of the daddy just forgot. Why the kids keep smoking pot. And it's so hard. Now they're in their teens. It's been so long since mommy's put that thing. Although the grades are good, well they just keep getting high. And he just cares so much, 'cause there's such great kids inside. But they just keep smoking pot. Whoa, they just keep smoking pot. Whoa, they just keep...
No more band. John Stewart totally, I guess, is gone. He supposedly, last sighting was, he was trying to sell some guitars that is acoustic. Thank God it's his own guitar. To some guy in one of his groups so he could get money to go to New York. So who knows what fantasy that is. But maybe you'll see him walking the streets, but I somehow doubt it. But anyway, just thought I'd let you know. Bye.
We were the Pockets, weren't we?
Or we the Hip Pups. That's what we were. We were the Hip Pups. Let's see, first we were the Pockets, then we were the Hip Pups, and then we were Hairbrains, Woo Doggy, Lame Little Pussy. Did I say, I said the Hairbrains, right? Yeah. Let's see, what else were we? No, one other thing, I can't remember. Now we're Die Stinkin', that's it. This is it. This is the last hurrah.
Stop your crying now. Don't try to teach us out. Here's another reason why. It's up to justice to the greedy eyes. I've been thinking it out. Words turned to accusations and they're built in the crowd. How can the tender back when I'm so willing to cry?
I always forget how long the band's been playing. It seems like I always want to say 8 years, but it's been
Gotta be at least 13.
13 years now. It's just fun to do. That's why you keep going, because it's just fun.